The morning began like any other in the quiet Welsh town, where mist clung to the streets and shopkeepers lifted their shutters with the practiced rhythm of routine. Inside a modest thrift store tucked between a bakery and a post office, staff members were preparing for another ordinary day of sorting donations, greeting familiar faces, and stretching limited resources to serve their community. None of them imagined that within hours, the Princess of Wales would step through their doors, unannounced, unassuming, and with a warmth that would leave them over the moon. Kate Middleton's surprise visit during her recent trip to Wales was not on any official itinerary, nor was it meant to attract attention. Yet for the workers and volunteers at the thrift store, the moment would become one of the most memorable experiences of their lives, transforming an ordinary workday into a story they would tell for years to come. A quiet arrival that spoke volumes. There were no flashing cameras, no formal announcements, and no sense of royal ceremony. Kate arrived with minimal security, dressed simply in a tailored coat, soft knitwear, and boots suited to walking local streets rather than palace corridors. To anyone unaware of her presence, she could have passed as just another visitor browsing the racks. According to staff members, it took a few moments for the reality to sink in. At first, we thought, surely not, one worker recalled. She smiled and said hello like anyone else. It was only when she introduced herself that we realized who was standing right in front of us. Kate's demeanor immediately put everyone at ease. Rather than directing attention toward herself, she asked questions about the shop's mission, the challenges of running a thrift store, and the people who relied on it. She listened carefully, nodding, making eye contact, and responding with genuine curiosity. She wasn't in a rush, said another staff member. It didn't feel like a royal visit. It felt like someone who genuinely wanted to understand what we do. A thrift store at the heart of the community. The shop Kate visited is more than a place to buy secondhand clothing and household items. It serves as a vital support system for the local community, offering affordable goods, job training opportunities, and a safe space for people facing financial hardship. Many of the workers are volunteers, dedicating hours of their time to sorting donations, repairing items, and helping customers who may be struggling. The store operates on tight margins, relying on goodwill and community spirit to keep its doors open. Kate took time to walk through every section, stopping to admire handmade crafts, children's clothing, and vintage finds. She asked about donation trends, seasonal challenges, and how rising living costs were affecting both customers and staff. She really understood what we were saying, a volunteer explained. She talked about how important places like this are, especially now. It felt like she truly saw us. Conversations that felt personal, not performative. What stood out most to those present was Kate's ability to connect on a human level. She asked workers how long they had been involved with the store, what motivated them to volunteer, and what they loved most about their roles. One staff member shared a personal story about how volunteering had helped them regain confidence after a difficult period in their life. Kate listened intently, offering words of encouragement and appreciation. She thanked us, genuinely thanked us, for what we do, the worker said. That meant everything. Rather than offering rehearsed remarks, Kate's responses felt spontaneous and sincere. She laughed easily, shared small anecdotes, and expressed admiration for the creativity and resilience she saw around her. An unscripted moment of joy. As Kate browsed the racks, she picked up a few items, smiling as she commented on their quality and character. At one point, she joked about how thrifting can lead to unexpected treasures, prompting laughter from those around her. She was so normal, one worker said with a smile. That's the word everyone keeps using, normal, in the best possible way. When asked whether she enjoyed shopping secondhand, Kate reportedly spoke about sustainability, reusing clothing, and the importance of mindful consumption. Her comments resonated deeply with staff members, many of whom take pride in promoting environmentally conscious practices. The emotional impact on staff and volunteers. For those working in the store, the visit was more than just a brush with royalty. It was a moment of validation. Sometimes it feels like what we do goes unnoticed, said one volunteer. Having someone like her come in, unannounced, and take the time to listen, it made us feel seen. Another staff member described the visit as uplifting and deeply encouraging, especially during a period when many community organizations are facing financial and emotional strain. We were already proud of our work, they said, but this gave us a boost we didn't know we needed. Wales and Kate's long-standing connection. Kate's visit to Wales carried particular significance. The Princess of Wales has long spoken about her affection for the country, where she and Prince William lived early in their marriage while he served in the Royal Air Force. Over the years, Wales has remained a place of emotional importance for the couple, representing a chapter of relative normalcy and connection to everyday life. Kate's return, especially in such a low-key and personal way, reinforced that bond. Her choice to step into a small thrift store rather than limit her visit to formal engagements reflected her ongoing commitment to community-centered work, particularly initiatives that support families, mental well-being, and grassroots organizations. A royal approach rooted in empathy. Kate's approach to public life has often been described as thoughtful, deliberate, and quietly impactful. Rather than seeking attention, she tends to amplify the voices of those she meets, focusing on listening rather than speaking. This visit was no exception. "She didn't make it about her," said one worker. "She made it about us and about the people we serve." That approach has become a defining feature of her role as Princess of Wales, earning her respect not just as a royal figure, but as someone deeply invested in the human stories behind the causes she supports. After she left, the reality sank in. Once Kate departed, the shop buzzed with disbelief and excitement. Workers gathered to process what had just happened, replaying conversations and sharing impressions. "We kept asking each other, 'Did that really just happen?' one volunteer laughed." News of the visit spread quickly through the local community, with regular customers stopping by to hear first-hand accounts. Yet despite the excitement, staff members remained mindful of Kate's quiet intentions. "She didn't come for publicity," one worker said. "She came because she cared." A memory that will last a lifetime. For the thrift store workers, the visit will remain a defining memory, not because of titles or status, but because of the kindness and respect Kate showed them. "She treated us like equals," said one staff member. "That's something you never forget." As the day returned to its usual rhythm, the racks were restocked, donations sorted, and customers greeted as always. But something intangible had changed. There was a renewed sense of pride, motivation, and joy that lingered long after Kate's visit. "We're over the moon," a worker said simply. "Absolutely over the moon." A quiet gesture with a lasting echo. In an age where public figures are often defined by grand gestures and carefully curated moments, Kate Middleton's surprise visit to a small thrift store in Wales stood out precisely because of its simplicity. There was no speech, no ceremony, and no spotlight, just a genuine human connection between a princess and the people quietly making a difference in their community. And for the workers who experienced it, that was more than enough.